Ladies and gentlemen, who is paradise again, and here we have something different today. Skygo KPT 200. This is up for delivery from Makindu town, from Makindu Motors, the dealership that sells Skygo and Lifan tuk-tuks and stuff like that. This is going to Nairobi, right? Nairobi from Makindu town. It's about 200 kilometers from here. Just been done assembly. Unfortunately, we spilled some coolant when defeating. That's not an issue. So we are up for the journey to Nairobi. God be with us. Skygo KPT 200. Let's get this done. Aja. Madam, kaya kwako. Ishafika? Sawa, asante. Thank you.
Mombasa Highway, one of the longest roads in Kenya. It is actually the longest highway in Kenya because it drives traffic all the way from Mombasa town, from the Indian Ocean to Nairobi, which is about 500 kilometers. Another like 400 kilometers from Nairobi all the way to Uganda border through Busia. Another like 700, 800 kilometers to South Sudan through Turkana. So it is the longest highway in Kenya and one of the most dangerous places to ever ride a motorcycle. One of my viewers on YouTube and also a follower on Facebook actually bought this motorcycle from Makindu Motors, and he requested me to go pick the bike for him and ride it all the way from Makindu to a place called Ruiru, which is around 230 kilometers. And it is a very good chance because riding a brand new motorcycle always feels incredible. There is always something very special when you're riding a motorcycle from zero mileage. You don't even know what to expect. Even if you have ever had a chance to ride that same type of a motorcycle before, it is always a very special chance when you get to ride a motorcycle from zero mileage. So this is Skygo KPT 200, also known as Lifan KPT 200, coming from the country China, from a very reputable motorcycle manufacturer, Lifan. And it is one of the smoothest 200cc motorcycles you can ever ride. I mean, it's one of the smoothest 200cc motorcycles. It is running on a single cylinder EFI. It is liquid cooled. Doesn't have so much, but the technology for the EFI is so modern. You can tell the bike is so stable in combustion. Near zero vibration. Yeah, that's a fact. Those people who have ever had a chance to ride a motorcycle running on Lifan engines, you know that their bikes have zero or near zero vibrations. It is an incredible bike. I have never had a long trip with this bike. The last time I did a review of this bike, never took me so long to ride for one day. And since it is in the evening, it's already past 5:30 p.m. We are headed for Nairobi. We don't want to push the bike because it is still brand new. You don't make a mistake of high-leving a brand new engine. It is detrimental, very dangerous. You can destroy the bike. Again, the assembly has just been done in a hurry, so you don't want to rush a bike before you realize whether everything has been put together properly. So it is a moment of surprises that can come from anywhere. But I thank God that so far the bike feels intact, the bike feels okay. I want to believe that in the next 2-3 hours we'll be very close to Nairobi. I am going to try and ride this bike below 90 kph. So that means we'll have a very long journey before we do the 200 plus kilometers. But God be with us. I want to believe we'll get there safe. This is Mombasa Highway. Let's get this done. What makes this highway very dangerous for motorcyclists is the lane indiscipline by drivers. Here we have people who are going so far. For instance, right now the trucks you see going down are actually going down to Mombasa. So that is a person maybe who left Busia border from Uganda early in the morning. They have been driving the whole day and they are actually rushing to get to Mombasa and get some time to sleep before they can pick cargo and start transporting again tomorrow morning. Others are passenger vehicles trying to deliver people to Mombasa. People are in a hurry here, and we have a very dangerous behavior as Kenyans when it comes to driving. Someone will try and push you off the road without considering how safe you're gonna be when you go out there. They are not even looking at the speed you're doing. They don't even care about the speed they are doing themselves. So riding a motorcycle along such a highway is always a moment of tension. You don't even know what the next driver is thinking about, especially when they see it is a small motorcycle like the one I have. There is the tendency to ignore you, tendency to try and bully you, and that is what has cost a lot of lives. This highway has eaten thousands and thousands of lives over the years. There are tons and tons of accidents along this highway. It has gotten to a point where even the national media do not care to report the accidents that happen here. If you're going down to Mombasa and you leave Nairobi early in the morning, maybe 5:30, you can believe me when I tell you that by the time you get to around 8 a.m., you have already witnessed like 5 accident scenes. Yeah, fresh accident situations. People being taken to hospital, trucks being towed from rivers. You're going to find a lot of surprises, especially early in the morning. A lot of accidents happen at night. And remember, this road has a section that is like 100 kilometers of pure jungle. If you go down past Makindu, where I'm coming from, you get to a town called Kibwezi. Then after Kibwezi, you continue going down, there is a town called Mtito Andei. Mtito Andei is actually the last town of the counties of Ukambani, the Makueni County. And after that, you get to Tsavo National Park, which has a stretch of about 100 kilometers before you get to Voi. So between Mtito Andei and Voi, the 100 kilometers are usually very, very, very dangerous. They are very, very, very dangerous because it is a stretch that is pure jungle and the highway goes straight inside the national park. I have witnessed people hitting animals. I have witnessed people actually getting near miss with elephants. It is a stretch that is a moment of tension. But what happens is that a lot of us tend to assume that we know exactly what we are doing, even when we are not sure of what is going on. So we have a lot of situations along this highway. I've been riding motorcycles for so many years along this highway. It never goes beyond 2 months before I go to Mombasa and come back. I have witnessed a lot of things, but what happens here is you cannot afford to blink your eyes for so long. This is not a highway where you can engage cruise controls if you have them. This is not the highway for you to play around with your phone, something when you're driving or when you're riding your motorcycle. It is a highway where you are required to concentrate 101%, because you never know what the other driver is thinking. You never know what is in their head. When they see a motorcycle, you never know what is crossing their mind. And again, people being in so much of a hurry, maybe someone assumed they will get to Mombasa earlier, and now they have realized it is getting late and they don't want to risk the 100 kilometers I have just told you about the national park. People don't want to drive through that park at night. So a moment like this one in the evening, people will push you off the highway trying to recover some lost time just because they don't want to go through national park at night. So here you have to open your eyes and be very, very close. But the secret is, sometimes when you get a vehicle that is running at a very good speed that you can accommodate, you tend to shield yourself with that vehicle from behind. You let them be in front, and then you give them a gap of like 20 meters, you shield yourself behind them. It keeps you safe, because when someone is trying to bully you, there is always a vehicle in front of you to actually shield you. However, you have to keep a good distance between yourself and the vehicle, because that vehicle can get bullied and the driver chickens away and decided to run off-road. If they run so fast without any notice, you can get into very, very serious head-on collision, because maybe they'll get a vehicle that is overtaking into their lane. They are going to negotiate with the driver via the horn, the flashing lights. But at the moment you are behind them, you don't even know how to react. You're just waiting for whatever this driver in front of you decides to do, you're going to follow them. If they decided to stick around and maintain their lane, fine. If they decided to run away, you also don't have a choice. You just have to run away with them to keep yourself safe. It is unfortunate that most of our drivers are like that, but yeah, it happens. So let's get to Nairobi. Skygo KPT 200. The journey continues. Makindu to Nairobi, 200 kilometers. Funny enough, the world is shifting from the pure super sport motorcycles into adventure and sports touring bikes. And as you look at the dynamics in the global motorcycle market, a lot of people are now starting to buy bikes that can take them for long distance. However, long distance riding is not for everyone. If you are the kind that wants to test top speed and want to keep up very, very high speed, you can believe me that long distance riding is not going to be good for you. Because what happens is your brain does not operate like that you can maintain very, very high speed for very, very long time. Unless now you want to tell me you'll be riding at very high speed and then you park the bike for 30 minutes to try and cool down your brain, cool down the adrenaline, and then you shoot again for another 1 hour, and then you park for another 20-30 minutes, which is going to be insensible, because by the end of the day, whatever time you are trying to catch up with, whatever time you are trying to save will be lost when you park. Again, everything becomes an emergency when you are running at high speed. For instance, like this highway where I am right now, this is a place sometimes that you can speed up. It gets empty sometimes. There are some sections of this highway that become like completely empty. You can try and speed up, you can try and test how much speed you can accommodate. However, you never know what is in the bushes, you never know what is in the next junction, you never know. That one vehicle you see coming, and maybe you think it is only you and the other vehicle, you never know what the driver is doing. When you're trying to speed up, someone else is also trying to speed up. Someone is dozing, especially like now, it is in the evening. We have people who have been driving all the way from Uganda, from South Sudan, from very, very long distances, and you find someone is starting to doze off. And there you are testing your top speed, you're doing 250 kilometers an hour. You did not even notice that vehicle coming, you don't even know what is going on in that vehicle you see in front of you that you're planning to overtake. Maybe someone is trying to take a junction and they have not even indicated. So you see that things become an emergency. Emergency after emergency after emergency, which becomes very dangerous for long distance. So if you're there, you are a biker or aspiring to become a biker and you would want to travel the world on a motorcycle, one thing you're going to do is cool down your adrenaline. It is not going to happen. If you try to become a speed junk, long distance adventure riding is going to be the wrong thing you can try. After you ride your motorcycle for 2-3 hours, your brain starts to run on autopilot. You need a lot of experience and body endurance for you to accommodate 400-500 kilometers. So if you start the journey on the wrong foot, trying to test your speed or trying to catch up with time or trying to prove something, you can believe me, it will not take you more than an hour before that journey becomes horrible. The reason I have been traveling for long, sometimes doing 800 kilometers in a day, and I'm so fresh, so comfortable, is because I have learned the art of consistency. If you want to go for long distance without spending so much time on the highway, don't try to speed up. Just be consistent. Just be consistent. If you decide I'm keeping 90 kph, just keep 90 for the longest time possible. If you decide I'm doing 100, just do 100 for the longest time possible. Try to be consistent. It helps you a lot in catching up with time. But if you try to do 150 and then you get tired, sometimes you're doing 60, sometimes you park because you're so tired, sometimes you just miss get into a head-on collision with someone because you never saw them crossing the road or you never saw them overtaking into your lane. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. I have been a biker for like 12 years now, and much of the time I spend on the motorcycle traveling for long distances. And after covering so much distance on motorcycles, I have learned that consistency is the only key that will keep you alive on the highway, keep you safe, and make you enjoy the motorcycle you're riding. Whether it is a small bike, a big bike, try to be consistent. You can be ahead of vehicles, slightly ahead of them in terms of speed. If you gauge that most of the people along that highway are doing 100, if you do 115, you're going to be far ahead of them. You'll be overtaking everybody, but overtaking them with a small margin of speed between your speed and their speed. So if they misbehave, you will be able to see that. But if you're doing 190 and everybody else is doing 85, you can be very sure that a lot of things are going to become emergencies. Before you realize, someone has crossed the road. Before you realize, someone has stopped. A matatu has stopped to pick someone or drop someone. A truck driver has just decided to park. Maybe they want to check their radiator. They have realized that the truck is starting to overheat. There is something that is making that driver slow down abruptly and park just in front of you. There is always something that is about to happen. So when you're riding for long distances, the secret is simple. Just try and be consistent. As you can see, it is starting to get dark. We have already covered quite some distance. Quite some distance. We are now up into the county of Machakos. Now we are heading to Nairobi. The secret about riding in the late evening is covering yourself. Try as much as possible to have some vehicle in front of you that is going to shield you, because some people tend to ignore motorcycles. As I said earlier, you don't want someone to pop up in front of you, overtaking into your lane when it is getting dark. So for you to be safe, you need to look for a shield in form of a vehicle, and also try to keep a good space between you and them. Try to keep a good space between you and them. Again, I just hope you're watching the lane positioning where I'm putting myself. You don't ride so much into the center of the lane or next to the outside on the left side. Try to keep a good place where people from behind you can be able to see you and determine which lane position you are in. People from the oncoming can also be able to see that there is no space for them to overtake and take a curve. They can see there is a motorcycle and that motorcycle is close to them. At least they'll give you a second or two to pass before they can decide to do their shenanigans. However, if you decide to take the wrong position, someone might get an impression that you are giving them the space for them to actually occupy. They can overtake you from behind and push you off-road, or overtake from the oncoming side and actually push you off-road, which becomes very dangerous, especially now that it is getting dark. You can't really tell what is happening on the road shoulders. You'll find someone had parked their truck, they were changing tires or something, they used some lock and they just left them there. Or someone was repairing a vehicle, there is a lot of grease, a lot of oil on tarmac. You don't want to risk going to the road shoulders when it is in the evening and you cannot really be able to see what is going on. Have you enjoyed the journey? Let's continue. Rifan Skygo KPT 200. It's one of the most incredible 200cc bikes you can get. A very, very incredible motorcycle. We have now arrived in Nairobi safely. Thank God that everything has gone so well. The motorcycle did not misbehave. The road users, although some people were trying to be sketchy, nothing serious. We are safe in Nairobi, but the journey is not yet over. We still have a couple of dozen kilometers to go before we get to Nairobi CBD. And then from there we can take the Thika Super Highway and head all the way to Ruiru to do the delivery. Because it is getting dark, I don't know what you're watching from your screen. I'm not very sure what the camera is recording. I don't think it is going to be of any use to record the rest of the journey in the dark. I don't think it is going to be of any use because now we'll be watching just total darkness. So I want to take this chance and appreciate you for taking your time to watch my video. Thank you so much. God bless you. Keep it Two Wheels Paradise. Here we do everything to do with motorcycles. And for now, let me make you a little bit aware of what I am planning. I have a journey that I want to go around this country later this week. So you're going to find videos from very, very incredible places, So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because after this video, there is so much coming in, You can't even believe what I have lined up for you. Thank you so much. This is Meshach Two Wheels Paradise. God be with you and try to be safe on the highway, wherever you are.